I'm very sorry I haven't posted in 3 weeks. I know, terrible human being. I'll try to do better. Been super busy with stuff, you know, it's getting towards Christmas, a lot of work dues, a lot of outings. Of course, I've been playing Jedi Fallen Order as well, which by the way is an awesome game, but I don't know whether or not this is a spoiler, but hold on, I took a picture of it somewhere. Who did I send it to? My mate sent so many memes that you think you sent something yesterday, but it turns out you sent it probably like a week ago because of the traffic. Ah, here it is, yeah. Can't really see what that is. That's some sort of, can't really see it, can you? So yeah, zombies in a Star Wars game? Yeah, okay, before you guys say anything, yes, I know, it's from the Clone Wars. I looked it up. I didn't watch the Clone Wars. The 3D one. It looks kind of odd, but I've heard great things about it, and I'm gonna get around to watching it at some point. But still, it's just something so not right about fighting zombies with a lightsaber. Oh god. Anyway, hope these 3 weeks have been really good for you guys. So getting closer to Christmas. Yeah. By the way, did anybody seen that Steam promotion on their website where they were selling controllers for like £4 each? I actually went ahead and bought one. There's a picture of me like unboxing it. Yeah, very exciting stuff. Yeah, not a fan. Not a fan. It's really clunky. I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong with my controller, but because the whole thing is like touchpad and touch sensitive, and it's like reminiscent of literally having a mouse, I guess. It makes these really weird clicking, horrible noises. I don't know. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. No wonder they ceased production, in my humble opinion, at least. So time flies. I can safely say that it basically now has something of a really, really primitive, basic, like simple wireframe of an actual end-to-end like game mechanic. This past couple of weeks or so, when we found time, because things have been quite busy recently, you know, with Christmas coming up and all, and what we concentrated on doing mainly is adding a score system at the very top. So now each round lasts from sort of, you know, it's a minute each. There's 2 score systems on either side of the game space at this point in time. And also, the thing that I found quite challenging, but Lomi managed to help me out on, was the actual step-by-step movement. I think what I actually talked about in the last video, getting the geckos, each player, to move step by step. So basically, you know, as I mentioned, you have a go to you get to move one space, and then I get to move one space, so back and forth. We've now got a 5-second timeout on each player, which I think is quite exciting because basically, if you don't move for 5 seconds, you lose your turn. I get a turn. If I don't use that turn in 5 seconds, I also lose that turn, and it goes back to the other player. So that actually works now. So if you keep tapping one of the buttons, the player will, you know, move. But then, if the other player is having a go, you basically can't move your character around. Simple stuff. But again, taking things very, very slowly and learning quite a lot every step of the way that we do. So the game actually, once it hits 1 minute, it actually restarts, and the round, you know, comes to life again. It's still in a very, very basic form, so like sort of a wireframe, you know, triangles for the flies and all. But what I have put in is one of the actual. So the players actually have geckos in place now, because my sister's actually gone ahead and drawn a really, really basic diagram of what she thinks one of the players will look like, and I've just gone ahead and changed the colour of that. Very tempted to show you actually what it looks like and the actual very, very basic primitive mechanics in play, but I'm still waiting on Amy, my sister, to send across the drawing of the actual rock, the game space at the back, and I think as soon as that's there, and I put that on the background, and I also get the, so what I'm working on at present is getting it so each directional arrow, you know, when you move your character, your gecko actually faces that direction. As soon as that's working, and we put it on the background with the rock, and then maybe have some other backgrounds in the background, I think it'll look really good, and that'd be quite cool to show off. So I'm tempted to hold off on that for now, just because it will add a little bit of you know, excitement, I guess. Apologies for the shaking of the screen. I'm literally shaking my legs too much. I will do better. So yeah, we've got a basic score system going. So like the default standard flies will give you 1 point at present, and then the rarer flies, like the golden beetles or whatever, the ones that are appearing off screen and sort of fly in and land in the middle, I've set that to sort of give you 4 points at this point in time. 2 score systems either side. You know, your score goes up in the minute time. It's a turn-based thing. Like you have to pick each. You know, each gecko has to basically get the fly or whatever, and that's basically the primitive. That's where we are at this point in time. I think going forward, the idea is to maybe start looking at how we can, you know, spice it up a little bit and make it a little bit more interesting. I remember that some of the things we talked about was having environmental affecting objects, things that slow time, speed time up, give you extra turns, give you less turns, perhaps even having like little grenades or whatever that you can throw across the side of the map, and you know, all those really cool stuff. Another thing that I think that, well, might be a good idea to have a look at is the little, I think we're sort of calling it the scramble mechanic, or the thing that as soon as 2 geckos like cross over each other, you know, if you're playing player 2 and I'm playing player 1 and we collide, it would be cool to have like a little scrap or like a QTE that you can basically take part in. So each player has to maybe press a button really, really quickly, and whoever presses it the most, maybe one of the geckos like fillings across the screen or something, or maybe the other one is stunned for a little bit, you know, something cool like that. I think that might be a cool one to, you know, concentrate on for the time being. But yeah, I think at present it's I'm gonna have a meet up with Lomi and hopefully Jake some point in the week, and we're just gonna have a talk about what the next best thing is that we should concentrate. Because I know those guys have been reviewing code from the branches that we've set up on GitHub and cleaning things up. I remember at one point last weekend, me and Lomi sat down on the computer and we were on Unity for about, I think, 2.5 hours on Saturday morning, just cleaning up code, really. We didn't do so much like, it wasn't so much that Lomi wrote new code. That time really was needed to basically clean up what I had made, because you know, I'm still learning and whatnot. Yeah, so I think the next thing for this week, obviously, try and get Amy to get those assets over to me, build up what I think the game space should look like, and then send that over to the guys, send that over to Amy, and have them clarify and hear what they like and what we can move on for. I think the interesting thing is that I've sort of spent a little bit of time looking into like coding, you know, UI and the scoreboard, the timer, all that sort of good stuff, and also the timeout, the 5-second timeout that's visible. A couple of things that we wanted to look at was, well, one other thing that me and Lomi discussed last weekend was maybe having some sort of like a glow around each gecko, just to symbolize this is your go, you know, do something with your time, otherwise you're going to lose it, sort of thing. That could be something cool to look at. However, at the same time, I think Lomi said, why don't you concentrate on looking at UI stuff, seeing as you've already done a little bit in it. So I just have to have like a few ideas, really. I'm gonna take some time, maybe in the week, maybe at work or maybe at lunch or something, but start to have a think about how we could make the UI look quite cool. Because for now, another reason that I'm not in a hurry to show it off until we've got some assets and stuff going with it, but quite literally, it's not very exciting. I've literally just put score equals 0, score equals 1, score equals 2 for now, just to keep it, you know, so we know that we know exactly where the code is sitting, sort of thing. So the mechanic is there, but again, it's a wireframe. It still needs a lot of work on it. But yeah, the really exciting thing is that just to look back at it, even though it's not much, And I promise you I'll show you guys what it looks like later on in the week when we've just put some of the assets together, and I'll just give you a very quick demo of how it works. Even though it's still very basic looking, the geckos don't have animation, for example. I still haven't even coded the direction that they move in. It's so cool that it feels as though things are coming together very, very slowly. Like some people at work, like for example, not to mention his name, but I met up with my old boss from work, the guy that hired me along with two other people in my interview at this bank a year ago, and he's since left our team, so it's all very sad because he's gone to a different team, and there was just a report that I needed to help him with, or there was a report that I needed to do for him, and he sent me an email. I didn't see it in the morning, unfortunately, and I said to him, "Oh, I didn't think you sent the email," but he said, "No, I did," and then I was like, if this was a year ago, I would be like too terrified to be saying something like, "You didn't send me an email." I would probably just be like, "Oh yeah, sorry," but I was pretty confident that he didn't send me the email. Then he opened up his inbox and showed it to me. I was like, "Oh, cool." But either way, we just got talking, and he was actually one of the people that actually really inspired me to just go ahead and get these guys together and explain to them exactly what I wanted to do, and then say, "Come on guys, come on Jake, come on Amy, come on Lomi, let's all work together and do this because I think we really can." He was one of the guys that got me to, you know, actually approach everyone and say, "Let's do it." And he asked me how it was going, and I just instantly came into the conversation, into the answer, sorry, just saying, you know, still very basic, you know, moving very slowly, but I can already feel things coming together, and it's super exciting, it's super rewarding. Yeah, and he was super proud of that, and just happy to hear that we're all progressing really nicely. At the same time, obviously, as we're learning, game production isn't without its slight difficulties, you know. For me personally, I think it's okay because I pretty much just, I can dedicate a lot of time to the game if I want to, just because, to be honest, I'll go to work, see mates every now and again, go to the gym every now and again. Sorry, scratch that, I'll go to the gym 3 times a week, obviously, every now and again. And I'll play video games, and I'm pretty chill in that sense, but for example, Amy, who's, as you know, my sister, who's in charge of all the art stuff, she has less time. Unfortunately, she just has less, excuse me, time to dedicate to producing really high quality assets at a very fast rate, simply because she's you know, drawing and making her portfolio really good because she actually wants to apply to a university next year and, you know, get on a master's course. And B, she's just started working a job in a really, really fancy restaurant as a waiter. That full time, pretty much. So she's working on the side and she's applying, she's applying to a university and she's working a really fancy job full time. And at the same time, she's trying to keep her Etsy going, her Instagram, you know, she's basically trying to be an artist who's trying her best to survive in this world. So I 100% understand why the stuff might not be coming just like that. However, that doesn't mean that I haven't been letting her know that I'm a little bit, you know, I'm like, "Oh, come on, we need more stuff," but I can't. I need to be a little bit better in that respect. But I can understand that it's not as it is. But every time she gives me something, every time she provides an asset that we can use in Unity, it's awesome. Like it's one of the coolest things, because half of this whole battle obviously is building this game, learning how stuff goes, learning the code and all that. But then the other stuff is, even though the assets and all the art is coming together slower, perhaps, well, I guess in the if you put everything together, it might be the same speed to some extent. But either way, like, the assets are coming piece by piece, very, very sparingly. You really appreciate when it appears, when something gets sent over by Amy, because I sent it over to Jake and Lomi, and they were like, "Oh my god, that's so cool. It just looks so cool. It looks like a style for a specific game that doesn't exist yet." And that's the exciting thing about it. And at the same time, Lomi would see that and be like, oh, let's go ahead and get started with putting some sounds in, you know, let's get the music going. By the way, there already is a theme tune for the game that Amy has made over a year ago, but that's what it is. But in all honesty, I think what the important thing is that this stuff is coming together very, very slowly to an extent. Like, we're a team of very new people to this whole world. We've been consumers and lovers of games for this whole time, but we're still learning the ropes when it comes to building a game. I have to say, it's still fun as hell. And I think if I had to put like a deadline or a time limit on when this thing would be ready, I would say that I wouldn't even try at this point in time, because that's not really the ethic that we're going for at this point in time. Just because, as I've been working with these guys for these few weeks, what I'm really starting to learn and appreciate is our different working styles and sort of the fabric of our team and how it's actually working out. Not everyone has loads of time, like loads of time to dedicate to just this one thing. You know, life is life. Things happen. Things are going on. You have responsibilities that you have to deal with, obviously, and then every now and again you'll have something that needs to take you out for a certain day or two, and there's not much you can do about it. So as long as it stays as a passion project and we put all the time that we can do, and we keep engaged and we keep rewarding ourselves every now and again, which I'm starting to think is, in this sense, an asset or a drawing from Amy to put into the game, because that's the thing that really brings it to life. Then we're engaged and it's fun and it's fine. It's also just like an interesting little passion project to have on the side, you know. So yeah, I think things are going good. Yeah, things are going good. Don't expect to see this thing on the App Store anytime soon. But anyway, guys, that's me rattling on about everything so far. Apologies that I'm not going to show it off just yet, because I really just want to show it off as soon as Amy gets the rock background, and you'll start to really get more of a feel about what the kind of game is. So yeah, I'm going to be a bit rubbish and not show it off this week, but as soon as we have more of a visual aspect to show off, then I'll get something together in the week or so. So anyway, guys, as always, if you enjoyed this video, give me a like, give me a subscribe, and leave any comments in the comment section below. And yeah, once again, I will try my best to set up these vlogs a little bit more commonly than I have done. You know, 3 weeks is inexcusable. But once again, Jedi Fallen Order, what can I say? Alright guys, I've got well back into Fallout 4, so I'm probably going to go and play that now for a little bit, and then jump back to Fallen Order just before I go back to work tomorrow. So hope you guys have a brilliant week, and I'll see you next time.